on, YouTube? I hadn't done a video in a little bit, and it's not because I didn't want to, just not had a lot to talk about recently. I am driving this really nice 2020 Explorer. Oh, I mean 2003 Explorer, with all the new upgrades and everything, you know. Daily driver status. This thing is awesome. Anyway. Everybody loves this Explorer. I don't know why I get the most hits on my videos for this Ford Explorer, which is crazy considering all the other stuff I post. I just think it's pretty funny when I go check my stats, and my Explorer videos are in my top 5 every month. So I guess everybody likes them. Anyway, get back to the cars. The black car is gonna be down for a little bit. I need to put a transmission in it. As you know, I did fix the 6R80, and I actually put that into the Mach 1. Due to all the rain, which you can see another day today of rain. Today's September 25th. I've not had a lot of time to drive the car between working and the rain. Getting a chance to take it out, it's just been kind of slim. So I actually drove around some more last night. So far I've put about 125, 130 miles on the car to date. It runs great. There's a few issues that I'm not overly excited about, and that is the Circle D converter that's in it. It's a 5-disc, like it's their Billy Badass, you know. If you got 1400 horsepower, supposedly you can lock this thing up and go down the track and blah 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 blah, and I did, and as you saw in one of my previous videos, it broke the intermediate shaft in the transmission. Probably the torque multiplier. I was talking to Caleb about it. It's probably through the roof, and that's probably part of the reason why that the unit broke. So anyway, I don't plan to run that transmission in a black car anymore. I'm gonna put something like a Glide or Turbo 400 in it. So I stuck it in the Mach 1. The problem is that converter, while it pulled down the black car's engine, the black car has stock type cams in it, so it idles real smooth. And just, I guess, bigger cubic inches, 331 versus 281. When it loaded the car down, but it wouldn't cut off. I mean, I had to up the idle a little bit to like 950, 1,000, and then when I put it in gear, it was good enough for the car not to cut off. Fast forward to putting that transmission in the Mach 1 with the exact same converter, and the clutches are dragging, because I talked to Circle D about it, and they said 5-disc could drag clutches, which tells me that it does drag clutches. That's just their reasoning behind telling you that. And they told me to send the converter back and I can change it like a 3-disc or something like that. I'm not trying to do all that. Because the Mach 1 has some cams in it, and they're pretty rowdy, the overlap on them, when I go to put the car in gear, the drag on the clutches from the converter makes the car cut off, and it's real annoying. So we've had to raise the idle of the engine. We had the idle on the engine running like 800, 900 RPM, and it sounded freaking phenomenal. If you saw my video today, we had it on the dyno. The problem is every time you put it in gear, it would try to cut the car off because the clutches are dragging so bad. So we tried a few things. I've tried to get into the Quick 6, make some changes and all, and it made no difference at all. And after talking to Circle D again, it's in the clutches of the converter. So what I did was decide to, instead of dealing with this 6R80 and trying to get another converter and going through the hassle of pulling it out, putting it back in, it's a little harder than my turbo car. With the Mach 1, it's got long tube headers, so they're a little bit more of a challenge. I decided to put the Mach 1 back to manual. Right? I mean, it's kind of good news, bad news. I don't mind the car being a manual transmission. It's gonna be fun to drive, and it'll allow me to have the cams choppy up, like, you know, most people want to hear them going chop, 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 chop. But it kind of sucks, because I really wanted to try that car out at the track with the trans brake and 2-step and all this, and see how fast I can make it go. So now it's gonna be back to 2-stepping on the clutch, like I did with my red car. And what I decided to do is called D&D Performance, and actually have a Magnum transmission now. It's the new, you know, they still say T56, but it's really the Magnum 6060, I guess, for these cars that replaces the T56. So that, along with a brand new McLeod RXT clutch I've had in my garage for a few months now for the red car, The red car with the RST seems to be fine, so I'm not going to change it. So I got a RXT clutch, a light and steel flywheel, this Magnum transmission, which should be really capable of what I'm going to do with it behind this engine. I got this whole kit from D&D, and it's everything. It's got a blow-proof bell housing, it's got the transmission, it comes with a shifter and all that. Also comes with the drive shaft. Well, I guess due to COVID, there's a shortage on getting the yokes and everything to make these drive shafts. So currently I've had the transmission for about a week now, and I'm still waiting on the drive shaft to come in. So that's why you haven't seen me post a lot lately. My video that you're gonna see probably coming up after this one's gonna be the taking the 6R80 out of the car and putting the Magnum transmission in it. Of course, I sold all the manual stuff recently, which sucks, so I had to go back and buy all that crap again. So I got a clutch cable, firewall adjuster, quadrant, all that's new. The good thing, I did not cut up my factory console for the Mach to fit the 6R80 shifter. For now, I just stuck the black car's console in it, which is my 98, and it was fine. But I'm glad I did that, because now I can put the original console back in the Mach, and you'll never know I had it out in the first place. So, and I didn't really have any crazy holes in the car or anything like that. So I can put it back to a manual, and you'll never know that it had a 6R80 for a while. But initial impression with the 6R80, it was fine. I mean, it drove around fine and cruised good and all this. It's just when you pull it to a stoplight, it would try to cut off. So all I had to do was hold the brake with one foot and barely put my toe on the throttle, and that was just enough to keep it running. But then once you pulled off, it was fine. I mean, you know, I'd never made any full hits on it, still breaking in the engine. And my plan is to put the manual in it, go ahead and get the extra 400 or 500 miles on it, because the transmission's got to be broken as well, and then get it all back together. So you should see the Mach 1 back soon with a new video. Again, switching from auto to a manual transmission now. And once it's got the manual in it, I've got a different crank pulley that I'm going to be using to up the boost a little bit to the VMP. So far with the VMP, I'm seeing about 21 pounds of boost roughly. So I've got a 4-pound pulley to put on it. So currently I was running a 2-pound pulley. So that should give me about 2 more pounds of boost roughly. So I should be somewhere around 23, 24 pounds of boost with the VMP supercharger, which I feel like with that Gen 2 2.3, that's about the extent of its efficiency. I don't think you can spin it much higher than about 24, 25 pounds and it'd be efficient. I mean, maybe I can put a 6-pound on it later and try it, but for now, the 4-pound lower with the upper I have should make about 23, 24 pounds of boost. And it should be pretty rowdy with that. And the manual transmission, I expect it to easily go over 750 at the rear tires when I get it back on the dyno. Maybe more, I don't know, but just for that little 2.3 VMP, it's doing good. It runs great on the street. I can't complain with it. It's a great blower. Everybody goes to these new Whipple 3.0s, and if I had my choice, I'd have one too. But for now, I'll just run this little 2.3 VMP and get the car broke in and take it to the track and see if I can make some decent hits on it. And we'll see how it runs from that point. But I want to give you an update. It's been a while, haven't updated much, and this is why, between the weather and not being able to drive the car that much, and it just takes away from the experience when the car just won't idle properly when it's in gear. And again, no fault of Circle D or anything, I guess. It's just their converter with these extra clutches in it. It's just real tight. And the black car, it did affect it, but just not as bad. So I'm probably gonna pull the 6R out and have a whole kit up for sale. It'll be everything from the transmission, converter, cross member, dipstick, drive shaft, low car shifter, quick 6 controller, you know, the whole thing. And the transmission's brand new. It literally has 125 miles, same amount of miles as the Mach 1 motor. It's got 125 miles on it with the brand new shaft and rebuild I just had done to it. So we'll see. The plan is in a few months I'll put the black car back together. But for now, I'm just trying to finish the Mach 1 the way it's supposed to be. I just don't like cutting corners, doing everything half-assed. So I'll get the Mach 1 finished up, and we'll post some more videos later. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all the feedback I get from you guys. If you have anything, any requests or anything, just let me know, and I'll try to throw something together. All right, talk to you.